Hi, my name's Adisa. I'm a performance poet who loves writing and performing poetry that probes and disturbs and promotes great conversation. Today, we'll be learning about Olaudah Equiano and how his writing championed the abolition movement in London, England in the 18th century. We'll look at the skillful way Olaudah used the English language to bring attention to the abolition movement. We'll draw parallels between Olaudah's story and the issues that are affecting us today. We'll write poetry that reflect your story, your journey, your experiences, and things that you're passionate about. Olaudah Equiano was a writer and abolitionist from the Igbo region of the Kingdom of Benin, today known as southern Nigeria. Olaudah was kidnapped and forced into the transatlantic slave trade at the age of 11. He was taken to the island of Barbados and sold to a Royal Navy officer. He was sold 2 more times in his life before becoming a free man in 1766. Equiano purchased his freedom. He did this by trading. He was given some crockery. He sold this, made a profit, bought some more, made more profit. He attained £40 and bought his freedom. As a freed man, Equiano was a part of the abolitionist movement. An abolitionist was a person who was against the transatlantic slave trade. And they tried with all their might to bring it to an end, to abolish it. He was part of the Sons of Africa, a group of Africans living in London who were also abolitionists, who came together solely with the intention of bringing the slave trade to an end. Equiano published his autobiography, The Interesting Narratives of the Life of Olaudah Equiano. Olaudah Equiano used his own personal life story as inspiration to write an autobiography about his life. He traveled tirelessly up and down the country, campaigning with his book, speaking out against the horrors of the slave trade. His book was fundamental in the introduction of the Slavery Act in 1807, bringing the trafficking of Africans to an end. Have a conversation with your partner about the qualities Equiano would have needed to have endured the slave trade, to have purchased his freedom, and then to write his own autobiography. Have a conversation about these qualities and choose one, and then make a cinquain poem. A cinquain poem is a 5-line poem that's based on a syllable count. The first line has 2 syllables, the second line, 4, the third line, 6, the fourth line, 8, and the last line, 2. So that's a 2, 4, 6, 8, 2 structure. Here's an example. If I chose the word courage, my cinquain would look something like this. Courage, brighter than light, fighting for his people, his weapons just quill and paper. Freedom. That's it, just 3 simple rules. Well done for those cinquain poems. We're going to move on now to actually hear from the man himself. Let's read some of the words from Equiano's brilliant book. In this reading, we'll get an insight into his command of the English language, and more importantly, his fearless character that would not rest until slavery was abolished. Listen to this reading from his book, The Interesting Narrative of the Life of Olaudah Equiano. But just as we had got a little beyond Gravesend, we came alongside a ship going away the next tide to the West Indies. Her name was the Charming Sally, Captain James Duran. My master went on board. and agreed with him for me, and in a little time I was sent for into the cabin. When I came there, Captain Duran asked me if I knew him. I answered, I did not. Then said he, "You are now my slave." I told him my master would not sell me to him nor to anyone else. "Why," said he, "did not your master buy you?" I confessed he did. "But I have served him, and many years, and he has taken all of my wages and prize money. For I only got 1 sixpence during the war. Besides this, I have been baptized. And by the laws of this land, no man has the right to sell me." And I added that I had heard a lawyer and others at different times tell my master so. They both said that those people who told me so were not my friends. But I replied that other people did not know the law as well as they. Upon this, Captain Duran said, I talked too much English. And if I did not behave myself well and be quiet, he had a method on board to make me. I was too well convinced of his power over me to doubt what he said. And my former sufferings in the slave ship presenting themselves to my mind. The recollection of them made me shudder. However, before I retired, I told them that as I could not get any right among men here, I hoped I should hereafter in heaven. And I immediately left the cabin filled with resentment and sorrow. It's very clear from this extract that Olaudah experienced a horrific ordeal that shook him to his very core. But instead of being frozen by this moment, he found it within himself, a burning desire to free himself, educate himself, learn and appreciate the power of words, then use those words to bring the slave trade to an end. Let's celebrate his achievements with a praise poem. Praise poetry is designed to celebrate an individual's achievements and their contribution to the wider society. The type of praise poem we'll be writing is called a kenning poem. Kenning poems date back to the time of the Anglo-Saxons. It's a beautiful way of just working with two words to create a beautiful image in our mind, a metaphor. Why say a ship when you could say wave floater? Let's have a look at some of the common expressions that have their roots in kennings. Ankle biter, referring to a young child. Tree swinger, monkey. And the classic bookworm, someone who loves reading books. Now you're going to write your own kenning poem. Make a list of your kennings to describe the fighting spirit of Olaudah Equiano. So it could sound like this: freedom fighter, truth slinger. Make a list with at least 5 lines. Well done on creating those kennings. They're fun, aren't they? After hearing about Olaudah Equiano's story, what can we learn from it? And how does it affect and reflect on our lives? Olaudah believed with his heart and all his physical being that the slave trade was barbaric and should be stopped. We're going to write a list of some of the injustices in society today that we believed should be fought against and also stopped. We're going to use that list to create our own poem. What are some of the issues and injustices that you feel passionate about, just like Olaudah? How did you get on? I feel very passionate about poetry, and its ability to channel our emotions, and more importantly, bring our story to the table of life. Using your lists from the previous task, you're going to write your own protest poem using the theme, In My Revolution. Try to add more color to your language. Take a word like racism. When I think of the word racism, I think of barbed wire. So instead of writing, in my revolution, there'll be no more racism, you could say, in my revolution, there'll be no more barbed wire words, conversations. Remember, write about the things that you're passionate about. Imagine that your poem will inspire thousands like Olaudah's book did in the 18th century. When you finish, share your work with the class. Well done. Thanks for working with me today. I hope you enjoyed the journey. I hope you felt empowered like Equiano did all those years ago to share your voice and share your story to the world. Bye for now.